First up, our first musical guest tonight. They are the indie alternative Denver-based band Ivory Circle. Hello, guys. How are you?
Great.
Great. Thank you so much for coming down.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So I cover the basics. You're an indie alternative-based band, is how you call yourself, and you're Ivory Circle. So why don't we just start? What kind of is indie alternative? How would you guys define your music?
I think it's kind of our way of just saying we're a little left of center of like that typical pop genre.
Okay.
So I don't know. I felt like I guess indie alternative summed it
Yeah.
up more or less.
Genres are hard, especially for us. We
Yeah.
like kind of, our music is kind of a collection of like a few different styles.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to kind of pinpoint down, but yeah.
Well, I think that's
Those
what I
are-
love about like local musicians, is they can mix styles so much. And since you guys are still like trying out new things and playing around, it's not like, oh, we are pop or we are, you know.
Sure.
So what's kind of your musical influences? What influences your music? How do you make it?
For me, it was like early '90s R&B. That's just like what I grew up on. Beach Boys were a staple for me, and yeah, that definitely. All this stuff that I sang in choir and things like that. It was just a good mix of that as an inspiration.
Yeah, and then we grew up playing together, and I feel like we went through a lot of different styles of like, we were in jazz band together. We liked kind of heavier, kind of indie music like Thrice and Circus Survive, and but also just like, I like pop music too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your musical influences?
Similar.
I didn't mean to talk for you.
Yeah, we grew up in bands together, so we've played a little bit of everything. And then this is kind of a combination of all that stuff in together, a little
Very cool.
less hard, so to say. But
Yeah.
Yeah, just mixing all together
Yeah,
and finding your own
absolutely.
sound. Perfect. Will you guys introduce yourselves? Because I'm doubting that all you changed your name to Ivory Circle. Unless you did, and that's just what you legally go with.
I'll
we go by.
consider
We are
it.
the
Yeah.
Circle.
this is Ivory, we're the Circle.
Ivory and the
So,
Circles.
I like it.
I'm Connie.
Perfect.
I'm Chris.
Rob?
And Connie, you're the vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
How did you start? You used to be a school teacher,
Mm-hmm.
right? So talk about your time as a school teacher, and then how did the band come together? So why don't you start?
Yeah, the band actually came kind of out of my teaching experience. I was in this school for a few years, and just kind of, I guess coincidentally, my dad was really sick at the time, and I was in another musical project, but I started writing these songs during my lunch breaks and outside of school that were a lot more personal, and I had this vision of creating something kind of on my own, and Chris and I knew each other from when he was at DU and he was studying, audio engineering, and we got connected and worked together. We really liked that whole process, so I approached him with helping me with this project, and he, had played with Robbie forever, so.
Yeah, I just interjected myself.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna be in this band.
Yep, and it just was born.
Yeah.
What's it like working together? What's the working relationship like?
I feel like we have it pretty tuned in by
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's a little tricky because we actually all live pretty far away from each other. I'm in Denver, Rob's in Lakewood, Chris is in Fort Collins, so we're a good like 40 plus minutes away.
Yeah.
But I think that actually helps because we're all, I would say, pretty introverted, and so I actually prefer to write the beginnings of the songs on my own because it's such a personal process, and then Chris and I will sometimes like demo it out together, or he'll send me an idea and then we bring Rob into the process too.
Yeah.
So it's pretty collaborative,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in our own way.
Yeah, and just over the years too, we've kind of like divided and conquered, kind of found our strengths. Like, I kind of take like care of the audio / like I'm kind of a music director at band practice.
Okay.
And then Robbie does all our video and
All the
visual
multimedia,
content.
yep.
Website.
Yeah, and Connie runs our
stuff, yeah.
social media. So we've been able to kind of just find our little niches and, take care of what needs to be taken care of. Like,
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about you doing the technical elements, because I think that's cool that not only are you a musician in the band, but you're running all of that side. So what is it like balancing both, and I would assume they go kind of hand in hand?
Yeah, absolutely. We gives us the ability to shoot music videos when we need. Chris gives us the ability to create the music whenever we need in the blasting room studio, which is great. So it's nice to have the options and just do it all in-house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not have to worry about hiring people out to do
Totally.
things and just capture the content and get the
Yeah.
content out there.
And we kind of have always grown up being like a DIY.
Yeah.
And it's the part of the process we
We're
actually
also
enjoy.
very
Yeah.
like control freaks, I think.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
With that process
Right.
too.
So to all have it in house and be able to do it, we
Yeah,
can nitpick
and
it
do
Yeah.
it
forever.
exactly how
and
we
not
want it to
frustrate
be
people
done.
Yeah.
endlessly, just frustrate ourselves internally.
Right.
Talk more about your music. So like you said, it's very personal. It's based on, some of the things you've gone through in life. What is it like, one, just sharing those stories and kind of using music as that outlet?
It can be really scary at times. It's a very vulnerable process, but it's definitely an outlet for me. And I love being able to share my experiences with people if it speaks to them. And it's interesting too, because sometimes people will reach out and say that so and so song was really meaningful to them for a certain reason, and it's really cool to see how a song can kind of evolve in a way that transcends like what I can even do with it, or what we as a band can do with it. So it's just, in the end, it's really rewarding and really cool to see how people respond to our music.
I like it. No, I thought you were going to say something. Sorry. Where can people hear your music? Where can they find it?
I think it's on it's like Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, so all the digital media outlets, and then
Or on
come to
their
a
website,
come to a
yeah.
show.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
upcoming
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What shows do you guys have coming up?
We're actually playing for the St. Jude Walk Run here at Dick's Sporting Goods here in a couple weeks.
22nd?
22nd. of
September 22nd.
Yeah. So that'll be awesome to be able to play and
Yeah.
support that cause.
Yeah, that is a really cool cause.
Yeah. And then we got a big kind of end of the year headlining show at Globe Hall. We've got Nina and the Hold Tight playing with us, which they're the greatest band in the world.
The
They're
greatest.
awesome, yeah.
So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming down tonight. And you're going to play 2 songs coming up later in the show.
Yep.
So we are very eager to hear those.
Cool.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.